Serious, has a friend ever said something that just straight up ended the friendship? What happened? I'm the dumped friend. She posted a video from The Onion of a fake senator reading a fake bill that was all redacted, and you could tell with context clues it was basically saying in the event of Armageddon, the high-powered people have bunkers to hide in. She made some comment about the redacting and our government is hiding stuff. I commented that it was a satire video and not real. She got super mad and accused me of trying to make her look stupid. She said there was no way she could have known. The Onion was in the bottom right hand corner of the video. She blocked me and we have never spoken since. We had known each other for at least 5 years. More accurately, my parents, took her in when she ran away from home for, like, a year when we were teens. When her husband beat her up, early 20s, I road tripped all night to pick her back and move her back in. Pride is one of the stupider traits for people to have and go overboard with. So, my friends and I all found out that another friend, from here on known as BG4 birthday girl, had never had a surprise birthday thrown for her, and it was her dream. So we decided to make that happen. My husband planned a big get together at another friend's house. We invited lots of friends, bought lots of food and even barbecue equipment, and really went all out. BG found out about the surprise party a few weeks beforehand by accident, and was thrilled, like, broke down sobbing. She was so happy because no one had ever done it for her before. Awesome. We were hyped. 2 days before the party, she texts my husband that she's changed plans and is going bowling with another friend instead, but we're invited to come 8D. What? We were floored. And pretty pee. And lots of people were already committed to coming to this thing. So we just had the party without her, and she texted us some super angry messages because we didn't show up for bowling. Now no one is friends with her. Hope you responded with pictures from her party. I was 16 and had my first boyfriend. I confided in my best friend of a decade that I was really upset because he got annoyed at something I said at Baskin Robbins and threw me against a table and then down on the floor, and that it wasn't the first time he'd shoved me around. She told me that she didn't want to hear it and that I had no right to complain because unlike her, at least I had a boyfriend. That was pretty much that for our friendship. Hope you got rid of him too. After I spent all day using my truck and trailer helping him haul tables and chairs and a giant archway to the church for his wedding that I was supposed to be a groomsman. Hey dude, I really appreciate you helping me move this stuff. I couldn't get anyone else to help. Here's $20 for the gas. Whoa dude, I'm in your wedding. I don't need money to help make this happen. Yeah dude. So hey, Brent, his soon-to-be wife's best guy friend / 100% ex-frick buddy guy he's known for less than 3 months, really wanted to be in the wedding, and I was wondering if it would be cool if he took your spot and I can see if any of her cousins backed out and if there's a seat open somewhere. This was the day before the wedding. I had been best friends with that guy since kindergarten. His wife didn't like me because I knew about her wild past from a different circle of friends, so this was her attempt to push me out. He caved, but none of the other people involved would help move crap, so he waited until last minute to get me to help. Haven't spoken to that guy since, and last I heard she quit her job and sucks dong in his house all day while he's at work. They deserve each other. Had a whole bunch do it at once. I used to have a group of people I thought were my friends. Because of this, I did a lot for them. I helped them out by working on their projects, supported them, let one stay in my home rent-free when they were in danger of becoming homeless. I did all that for these people, but 2 years in a row, they couldn't be bothered to do something as simple and easy as meet up with me for drinks to celebrate my birthday. Half of them didn't even bother responding to being invited. I've pretty much cut them all out my life now. I'm done being used by those who don't care about me. I was in this situation once. After a few years I looked back and thought to myself how nice it was to have them all gone from my life. The friends I have now are all awesome, genuine people. After convincing me to delete my accounts everywhere and make new ones. After promising me that they'll protect me from my abusive ex. After witnessing everything my ex done to me, and how it scarred me for life, I found out that my best friend was dating my ex behind my back for months, lying about it the whole time. I didn't know who my friend was dating. as they refused to introduce them in person. It turns out they've been dating behind my back a few weeks before my ex broke up with me. The whole thing scarred me to this day. It's been a year and I haven't heard from either of them since, though. Good riddance. If it's any consolation, sounds like she made her own karma. I have chronic health issues, and my best friend was trying to get me to drive 30 minutes to her house to go swimming when I had to pack to leave town the next day. She kept pushing and pushing, but when she finally realized I wasn't going to agree, she sat back and said, "You wouldn't be any fun even if you had your health." I left and didn't speak to her again. My best mate's now ex-girlfriend told everyone I had sex with her while they were dating, when I definitely had not. She was the most irritating person I'd ever met, and I don't know if I've ever been attracted to someone less than I was to her. Ruined our friendship and destroyed her relationship with my mate. She is one of those people that crave drama and can't live without having something wrong to moan about. She's currently pretending to have multiple personality disorder and blaming that for every time she's a dickhead so she can get away with it. Disgusting. I have and it's a horrible disorder born of severe childhood trauma. If she wants it, she can have it. I got sexually assaulted by 2 guys in a summer camp and told it to my best friend. After calling me stupid for letting that happen, she apologized and I forgave her. Then I saw her parents, who asked how summer camp went, and all she did was turn to me and go, "Well, you made many friends, didn't you? Don't you wanna tell my parents about it?" with a big smile on her face. I don't feel too bad about thinking that she can frick off in heck. One of my best friends of several years set me up to get robbed for £390. My wallet and my jacket. The guy who robbed me pulled a machete on me and kept it against my neck. I don't really know why they decided they want to do it, but I know from enough people, and just the way it all happened gave me suspicions, telling me it was him that I found out. So naturally I stopped being friends with him, because it was a bit of a dong move and all. You know what? Recently, like late 2019, I started getting out of the house. I'm a single father of 2 girls and I've focused on them 1000% for a really long time. I finally got out of the house a few times, and I'm serious, I went to this friend's house a few times for game nights. Basically drinking and cards. Till this dude hauled off and hit me for accidentally touching his freaking hat of all things. What struck me most is that they were hosting and didn't even offer an apology to me. It was quite insane for me. It was like I was back in high school. Unfucking real. I gave them ample time to freaking realize what happened. It took the person 3 months to even realize we are no longer friends on social media, and she's trying to add me back now. And honestly, it freaking broke something in me. I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. They probably have deeper problems that have tormented them before and after. Having young kids can be isolating. I hope you meet lots of really good people in the coming years, and they wash away that crazy hat drama memory. All the love and good karma you are investing into your kids, and your life will magnify and grow in so many different ways. My cousin and I were inseparable as teens. He went on his mission, Mormon, and I went to hang out for a few days when he got back. I was so excited. I got there, paid for all the fun stuff we went out to do, no problem. His childhood friend and I were trying to get him to go for a walk to this cave we used to go to, and he decided to tell me what a piece of trash I am and I'm going to heck because I'm gay. I didn't say a word as I drove him home immediately. I said get out and haven't talked to him in the 8 years since then. Frick him. People never come back from an LDS mission the same person. She got married. I was just friends with this girl from law school. She was a cool girl and we lived in the same city after law school. We never had sex. We had never seen each other naked. I was dating someone else at the time. She was dating this guy. I met her parents as just a friend. Was friends with her sister. So for about 6 years we were just pretty cool friends. She gets married. Her husband then texts me and tells me to stay away from her. I text her and say, "Yo, your husband is telling me not to speak with you anymore. Is that what you want?" I got no response. Cool. A few weeks pass and I call friend's sister and see if she wants to grab a drink as I was in the area. You got some freaking nerve calling me. What? Listen, I know XX doesn't want me to speak to her, but not sure why we can't be friends. Are you freaking kidding me? You ruined her life and are trying to ruin her marriage with what you did to her. What? I'm sorry. I have no idea what you are talking about. I have always had her best interest at heart, so I dunno. Yeah, well, then why didn't you tell her you had herpes before you fricked her? Wait, what? She and I never had sex and I don't have herpes, so I'm a little confused here. Stop freaking lying. Husband told the whole thing and she never denied it, so frick you. Don't freaking ever speak to us again. Alright. Come to find out, that butthole had herpes and didn't tell her, and he gave her herpes, and when it got out that she had herpes somehow, he blamed it on me and she just let the lie take hold because it was easier than her family hating her husband. Alright. Cheers. Consider it a parting gift. Oh, that is the most slimy, pathetic thing I've ever heard. Best friend and ex-co-worker for 5 years. Confided in her and told her about my self-harming, depression and stuff I went through as a child. You can imagine. 2 days later she not only told the whole of my old workplace but told my family too. Absolutely heartbreaking. She and I share a birthday, so I drove 4 hours from my house to hers for a joint party. She ignored me the whole time, like actively looking at me and then walking away when I tried to talk to her. It had been the last straw in an abusive friendship. Then after I cut ties, she waited 3 weeks to email me a sorry if you thought I was ignoring you. I wasn't. I was stressed over a death in the family that happened a year before, and BF and I breaking up. They were dating for like a month, and being unemployed she quit her job. None of that was a reason to ignore someone who drove 4 hours to a party for you. I'm an introvert, but she loved this place, so I sacrificed my birthday for hers. Again, and then actively ignoring me. 1 year for our birthdays we said we would buy each other massages at this super fancy spa. When we got there she asked if I could also get her a facial and it would be her Christmas gift too. I said sure. When it came time to check out she told me she couldn't afford my massage. So I bought mine, hers and her facial. She never paid me back. She was a straight up awful person who needed to put me down to feel better about herself. And I let her. For 10 years. I'm glad you're out of that. People like that don't deserve good friends like you. I went to stay the night with one of my best friends. Long story short, the entire night was just her on her phone, not invested or listening to anything I said. I knew this BC. I tested it by saying something that could not be funny in the slightest, and she let out this huge fake laugh without looking up from her phone. This was a problem I'd been having with her the past year at most. She wanted to go to sleep super early because she was tired. I ended up lying and saying I needed to go home, and she was more than fine with it. After all she wanted to do was sleep or text. Not even an hour after I'm home, I see her Snapchat story of her at her other new friend's house drinking and seemingly having a blast. Not only was it hurtful she did that, but that she didn't care I would see it. That was when I decided we were no longer best friends. I still get sad about it because we had been so close since junior high. Some people just change for the worst. Edit. This will be the 3rd friend I've shared on, but this is the worst one I have. A friend who I just spent an entire weekend with took advantage of my MySpace page being logged into her computer, posted as me saying I was coming out lesbian, messaged multiple of our classmates too, and made my default a terrible saturated acne photo of me. To say the least, I've had bad luck with girlfriends. I had a buddy of mine do this to me. He tried to justify not taking me to the party because he didn't want me to get in trouble. But it was like, come on man, we could have talked about it before you said I'm tired and going home. My former best friend, of over 6 years, hit up my ex-girlfriend the day we broke up. He sent her a DM asking if she wanted to hang out at his house. Parents but WTV. At the time he also had a girlfriend who was pregnant with his kid. My ex hit me and his girlfriend up with the messages. My ex and his girlfriend decided to go together at his place and expose him. I didn't want to do with any of that, but I didn't want anything to happen to either of the girls. So we show up. His mom greets us and lets us in. As soon as he saw us three he knew that his crap was up but acted all surprised. We told him we knew. He kept defending his case by saying his little brother, who was freaking 6, sent my ex those messages. Well, to make a long story short, his pregnant girlfriend left him. He's currently paying child support. He also moved out of the state like a month later. My ex and I are back together and 3 months into our marriage. Finally a story which is some dang loyalty. Honesty good on all of you bar the dickhead. Said I was being a bad friend for not wanting to game after my 6th 10-hour shift that week. I was beyond exhausted and desperately wanted to go to bed. Said friend also called me a little b because I was worried that I got my then GF pregnant before this incident. That GF later left me for other reasons. So I decided to start making changes without her holding me back. New job, different living arrangement. Started doing more outside of the house, etc. I didn't mean for him to be one of the things left behind, but I've gotten out of that pit and have much better friends now. Said I was being a bad friend for not wanting to game after my 6th 10-hour shift that week. That should have been your sign to cut ties with him right then. You don't sit there and call someone a bad friend just because they want to get some sleep and not stay up and game. It's good that this person is no longer in your life and that you're doing much better. Friend had physically harmed another friend who was drunk because he thought nobody would notice. The next day I confronted him, and after looking in my eyes and denying what I had seen for 30 minutes, it was like his mask came off. I have never understood the descriptions of the coldness of eyes until that moment. He just looked at me, smiled, and said honestly, I just don't care. We are no longer friends. Everyone else eventually figures out that he was batshit and takes a step back. He checks into a psych ward for 3 days, but keeps the admittance bracelet on for the next 3 weeks. Tells everyone he talks to, using my name, about this bee who destroyed his life and caused him to attempt suicide. Don't be friends with psychopaths, kids. If they have alienated everyone they ever knew, the common denominator is them. An ex-friend of mine was pushing me for inappropriate images under the flimsy guise of joking. Seemingly out of nowhere, I was in a 3-year relationship with my now husband, and this ex-friend of mine also had a GF of his own during this whole ordeal. Real classy. Now, this wasn't really something he had done previously in all our years knowing one another. So with that in mind, I foolishly tried to give him the benefit of the doubt and just made it unmistakably clear to him that if he didn't stop behaving like a mindless pervert, I'd cut contact and end our friendship. Then one day I got an image text. It was his boner outlined in gym shorts and a sad and completely see-through fish for compliments than the most pathetic backpedal of the century. Friendship of 10+ years ended, but not before I freaking laid into him first before blocking that toxic predator's butt. Frick you, Lyle. It took me a long time to realize see-through fish for compliments didn't mean a transparent fish used for size comparison. In college, a former friend tried to have sex with me. I'm also a guy. While I was blackout drunk. He was not drunk. He did that despite knowing I am straight and had a girlfriend at the time. Lucky for me there were some actual friends that stopped him. I passed out once while all my friends were taking shrooms and they stopped a dude from putting his balls on my forehead. I really appreciate that. Last year, I think, this man sexually assaulted a teenage boy, 16 or 17, and the man was a middle school principal. The boy went into depression and was contemplating suicide, and he now has mental problems. I was talking to my friends about it in a group chat, and one of my friends who knew the man started defended him as if her life depended on it. Started cussing me out and talking about how he's always nice with her. Obviously he won't touch you, your girl. My other friend kicked her out of the group and we all blocked her. The victim of the situation preferred killing himself over telling someone about it, and it broke me. As for that friend, I want nothing to do with her. My best friend quit as the best man of my wedding 2 weeks before wedding's day. Why did he quit? His new girlfriend doesn't like me. It seems like weddings are the ultimate friend filter. Didn't love my dog when he was dog sitting. Carelessly let her run away, then failed to look for her. My surveillance cameras caught it all. I was p. Friendship over. We had one friend that said he fell on bad times with money, so we paid everything for him during the next couple of months. Drinks, cigars, travel. And after a few months we found out he was going out with new people all that time and was acting rich in front of them with all the money he was saving by scamming us. I hope it was as worth it for him as it was for us. My best friend accused me of making him gay. No joke. He was in the closet when I met him, and throughout our years of friendship I tried my best to show love and support to him during his gradual coming out process. He came from a conservative family and really resisted coming out. When he finally came to terms with his sexual orientation, I guess he convinced himself somehow that I was the one who planted that seed of homosexuality in his mind and corrupted him. When he yelled at me, in tears, "You made me gay," I couldn't believe that he was serious. I was willing to forgive, because I knew it wasn't really about me, but from that day on he began pushing me away and treating me like crap. After putting up with the abusive and toxic behavior for months, I eventually told him that I was done, moved out, and never spoke to him again. Years later, he emailed me an apology. I have nothing but love for him, and part of me still grieves because he was like a brother to me, but I haven't tried to rekindle the friendship. Honestly, this one is heartbreaking. I feel for people who deal with emotional baggage poorly. We all go through a period of acting like an butthole, but it's not fair on you to be forced to handle it. I was considering moving across the country during college and mentioned it to my best friend at the time. She started yelling at me via phone that I need to get my life together and need to stop sleeping around. And if I continued that when I moved, my friend I was moving near would ditch me. Needless to say, I was in shock as I was not sexually active at the time. I hung up and refused to answer her phone calls. As she continued to blow up my phone later in the day, another friend took the phone and proceeded to yell at her. Haven't been in contact since that time and it's been almost 15 years. Haven't missed having someone make me feel bad about my life choices. Yes, for some background, I was best friends with this girl, let's call her Alice, for several years. I had just ended a relationship with a guy that through the course of our 5-year relationship developed an addiction to opioids that ultimately resulted in our painful breakup, and I'm bi. Anyway, I started dating a woman I met through Alice. Alice was becoming increasingly territorial, even before I started hanging out with this woman. Eventually we became more serious and Alice called my girlfriend and told her that I'd said she was just some lesbian that was obsessed with me about my girlfriend. These words have never and would never leave my mouth. It was just Alice's attempt at sabotaging our relationship. Fortunately, my girlfriend knew better and called me immediately and I was able to fix the situation and right the wrong. However, my friendship with Alice was absolutely done as soon as I knew this. Side note, Alice has since completely ruined multiple other friendships within our friend group because of her deceit and mistreatment of people. It's the most vivid example of karma I can think of. Sounds like Alice was in love with you. Sorry she was so crappy about it. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.